Here we go. AKA Powders. Good morning. Welcome to it. Trying to get some of these lights a little bit better. I keep an LED set of lights over the drawing table, and I keep them on soft. The soft mode I found out looks really good on camera, but it does reflect. So that's what we have here. I like to open the shows with just a couple ideas of what I'm reading outside of the world of comics. But cheers, good morning to all of you. Uh, these little fashion books are fantastic. I have almost the complete set. There's maybe 5 or 6 that I'm missing at this point. The next one on my list is Fendi and Rolex. So I hope to get those soon. Reading that, I bought the compact edition of Kingdom Come and the Mark Waid Lynn Francis shoot. The title of that one I can never remember. Birthright. I bought both of those. The crazy thing is I've been reading them, and I know I was on record of saying that technically it's the point I made in the video, but I just thought this was like too good to pass up for the price. The reproduction is phenomenal. I want to say this looks it's not as clear as the glossy pages of the original, but it's for $10. Yeah, and then Challengers of the Fantastic, which at this point might be my absolute favorite. Look, Brainiac Galactus might be my absolute favorite amalgam book. This is so freaking wild. There's so many ideas. I wish more issue ones read like this, where they just put every possible idea into the pages. So, somewhat heavy on the comic book reading. I also been studying this for a video, a Barry Windsor Smith video, to do the transition of an artist. That's a big video coming up. And then here we're just we're drawing X-Men's Magik. Now this is from a Jimmy. He's someone that call him a fan, call him an AKA Padder, call him part of the AKA Pad Army. But he reached out to me, and he sends me like this drawing, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And well, I'm saying like maybe you need more torque for the shoulders and the hips, but it's a good start, and it's always challenging when you get questions like that, because the answer is very simple. If you want to get better with illustration, you have to get obsessed with it. You have to get obsessed with it to the point of losing your job, losing your family. It takes that level of commitment. And then you do need some luck along the way. What type of luck? Well, it's luck that you have a lifestyle that can lend itself to you to learn the craft, that you have people around you that support you learning the craft, like all of those things. We're also changing some of her pose here, but yeah, I never drew Magik before. Never quite thought about drawing Magik. We're drawing her bloody, beat up. She'll have, I guess if this ever gets colored, I want her to have like green demon blood all over her. But she's like summoning her sword. I don't know if the sword has a name. Usually they do, because I feel like that's a little bit of an anime thing. I could be wrong there, but I feel like all the animes have like cool sounding swords, and I could be wrong with that. But anyway, she's summoning the sword, and I'm gonna have her like powering up right here. Dude, I apologies. big apologies from yesterday, dude. I thought I was going to be able to take another 1 hour nap, and and then my fiance had to um do something with her family yesterday, and yeah, it was just something that I could opt out of. And she comes home, but she came home, and I was like out. I was out like a light, and never like woke back up. Yeah, a green demon blood necklace. Yeah, that's kind of what. See, I want like red blood coming out of her mouth, but I want like her chest and kind of like what's all over her body to be like demon blood. And I want it to be like like highlighted a certain way. I love it when the colorists they highlight the blood. It looks so freaking cool. But I mean, we're kind of at the stage here to ink, but at the same time, I gotta figure out this other hand. Nah, dude. No, I feel like I literally feel so freaking guilt. But the wild thing is, I what I did yesterday, and I feel like I've been doing this to myself a lot, and I don't know if it's self sabotage a little bit, but it really can't be. Uh, so I've been really just focused on growing my legs. Uh, and it's I don't have like disproportional legs or anything, but I just want my legs to be fuller. I want my butt to be like way rounder than what it is now. And and so I do these like leg workouts, and every single set is like past failure. Like every single set. We're like way beyond failure every single set. And ever since I adopted that methodology, and some people will say like that's the way you're supposed to bodybuild and so on and so forth. Like I get that, but it's easier to do it with upper body, trust me. But I've been kind of like hitting these leg workouts so freaking hard. I think I've been pooping myself out, and I gotta sleep. I have to recover. Dude, last night when I texted you guys, I slept from that point all the way to about 8 o'clock today. About I woke up only 47 minutes ago, so uh, it's frustrating. Yeah, right. But yeah, we can touch on it real quick. So the whole intention with those layouts was for you to like come up with the next like piece of it. So if you want to pick up with him from the Arctic or from the frozen tundra, and then like like you add your story element. I think this is a superior way to collaborate, and everyone can like work in their own ideas. But yeah, and you know me, I try and stay away from like the low hanging fruit story tropes. I try and let the panels play out in their own like natural way. Oh yeah, but no, dude. I just feel like I pooped myself out again last night, and I just had to sleep, all this time to recover. Now, some of it too is Philly is in a heated mess. Philly is so freaking hot right now, and I want to say that's and I walk about 3 to 4 miles a day. I want to say some of that is also contributing to the chaos. I'll call it. But it's good to see you, bud. Always. What else is happening? What you got coming up today, stream wise? And how's everything been going? Who's Who else are you popping in on, or are you just mostly focused on your channel's streams now? Yeah, luckily last night I basically had a whole new group jump in. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like for a little bit of a public conversation, I do feel that hump day, and I told you this. You know how I feel on this. Oh, Phil's won yesterday too, 5-1. So I just got the update on my Alexa. Um, I think some of the like the guys that kind of pop in, like the first wave, if you want to call them that. I think there should be topics. I think there should be things to move through. Because it gets to the point where you're just like you're there, you're drawing, and like there's not like what if there's no natural conversation? So I think that's where having like a little bit of a topic list, like that comes in, and that helps a lot. Why you been trying to pull back? What's the psychology for that? All right, so we can kind of. Give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to focus a little bit. And who was the second wave from last night? I mean, you know what? I can check right now. Actually, I don't need you for that. I don't need you to check in on your show because that's the amazing thing. You know what's funny, Glitch? It's how funny how in my searches now how like your name populates because I've been always searching. Let's see here. Let's go here. We always got to scroll down a little bit. Wow, you guys went for 5.5 hours last night? Oh, what'd you get? Oh, geez. Who's Ink Sports? I see you got Matt, Jason Unhinged. Oh, wow, too. And everyone's got their screen up. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Everyone got their screen ups. Yeah, I hear. See, I don't know too much. Hold up here. See, I feel like I almost got it here. I almost have it. See, and I think some of this, I can keep working this. I think there's just like a little bit of shape harmony that needs to happen. needs to be partially anatomically correct. But I think we're there to where we can like start inking this. But I kind of wanted all of this to be just like black. I threw in her leg here. All this is black. But we're going to start inking this. I mean, I hate this. It's like I'm starting one piece before finishing up another. We're almost there too, to getting back to sequentials, by the way. I gotta clear out my piles. Yeah, see, like that's the whole thing. See, like I don't know who I don't know who any of those guys are. But it's awesome that, like I said, you can watch everyone work. That's the cool thing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the whole. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. Where it's like sometimes if like you can get like maybe read the room a little. Like if the first wave is nothing but heads, have topics. If the second wave is nothing but uh drawing tables, like have a like be able to be modular with a little bit of that positioning. Yeah, and I would be like, do you have a playbook? Like, do you kind of have like a scenario playbook, like a producer would have? And we're talking about a producer for live television. We're not talking about a like a entertainment segment producer. I think we're good. Are we good enough to start inking? There's a side of me that wants this to be completely white background, though. Yeah, I guess with coloring, we can color it both ways. Speaking of coloring, I need a good colorist. I need someone that can handle the AKA pad line work. Yeah. So again, uh, as always, we're going to go for as long as we can here, but it's always nice to make yourself available, be able to hang out, do some comic book artwork with people, comic book illustration, as I like to call it. We're making baby steps. So when I was working on this yesterday, I had the impulse to do this in absolute Sharpies because I didn't like any of the shapes, and I wanted to Sharpie ink it as quickly as possible to round out what those shapes would be as quickly as possible. And sometimes when I'm working, I get anxious, which I've been like trying to really get better at, to kind of just being a little bit more composed during my time, because we're working with permanent materials. Here we go. We got some magic. My 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 whole idea last night too, if I wasn't drawing anyone's character, I was gonna work on this crazy Ironheart piece. I had this big old Ironheart piece planned out. Hold up here. Oh, am I behind? Oh, that's because we have do I have to go into my kick settings? Maybe like block like non-members or something? Yeah, playbook. Like for example, because as you guys know, I never have loose paper, but like a playbook would be like, we can kind of, if you want the template, I mean, maybe should I just add this to our share folder? So like a playbook would be like we'll call it like opening, right? And then like your opening would be like, all right, like if I have these guests, okay, and let's just say you have like one or two new, right? Well, we know like we might have a video for like for two of them, like we don't for these two, but the new guys, right? We might have like a new intro video, and that could be the same video, right? So maybe you'll introduce the two names together, but that's what I mean. And then we would have like the show, but it would be like show, we can call it like part one, which would be like if we have all the talking heads, right? And then like we got one or two guys from the drawing table, right? Like let's say like, because usually it's you and me, right? So but we got like talking heads and they're drawing. So maybe here it would be like topic, maybe like a subject to draw. And I get it. You might want to make it a casual draw stream, but if it's a casual draw stream and Marcus is going to be working on something previously, and John's going to be working on something from like EXO, right? Like it would just be like, all right, like we go through the topics, we focus on, and just like keep a list and work through the list, but have it be modular to where if different people are on, or if like some of the topics are shorter than others, but the topic stuff, like you could just use a news aggregator, fill it in, like see what who's seeing F1, do people care about Jurassic Park, who's reading what, stuff like that, and then I would also like post show notes, what you can use with AI, but get AI to transcribe it, and then from show to show you can kind of connect some of the threads. So you can say like, oh, Marcus, last week you were reading this, Are you done with that? Just like a little bit more of a presentation. And keep in mind, these are thoughts of mine that I started to work on, and methods. Like if I ever did it, so you get the benefit of that. Oh, Frog G, yeah. I'm not sure. Like, what is Frog G, right? Oh, ADAX. See, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. No, I think that girl's. Yeah, I think she's a. I think the iron. I don't know the actress's name. I think that girl is. I think it's kind of like what you call like weird attractive or weird hot. She definitely has a look of her own. Like she owns that look. But I don't think she's unattractive though. And yeah, I get it. I could be on the outskirts of that uh, thought, but yeah, or if it's like like if you're having me on, like you can kind of always like intro me. Like I guess like some of the intro stuff too, right? Like it's like I think you've been at it long enough to almost like tear down the show and to like reform it as you go. Like you should always be moving that scale. But that's how you make things good. Like, and it's not about an audience, it's about making it good. And that's a skill set. Like can you make something work? But anyway, the weird looking Ironheart chick. Yeah, like you have it in your head, but dude, like not everything works in your head. That's almost like a pet peeve of mine. I hate it when people tell me that. I hate it. Like maybe if I'm in like a if I have to work on a network or be with someone who is like a different network administrator than me, and it's like, hey, how does this thing work? And the guy points to his head. That's the situation where I say, you know what? And it's almost like the crazy Russian astronaut in Armageddon. Like in IT, you come across that guy every now and again. That's why I love that scene. To me, that scene speaks a lot of truth. But yeah, it's don't get it, like get it out of your head. Get it out of your head. Make it a process. I'm just giving suggestions. Yeah, I get it, dude, but it could be a show. That's the thing. It could be the show. I view it as the show because I think you're a good host, dude. I think you're funny, and I think you track like you know who everyone is. Like I think this is stuff I don't see on other shows. I'll write it up for you. I'll write up the playbook for you. Well, it's not about people showing up. It's just not. Like you have to go into the void. Um, like if your goal is to get an audience, um, we talked about this. If your goal is to have an audience, put all of your money in advertising your channel. But I think I'm there though, by the way. I think the AKA Pad Network. Um, my birthday's coming up, and I was debating. Oh, let me know if this is a good idea, real quick. And you too, Skinny. I see you in there. Um, for my birthday. So here's the idea for my birthday video. Blank slate. Okay, birthday. I guess like video. Like I had two ideas. We'll call it one and two. Can I write it two? Idea number one. Um, I break down my schedule. Like what happens at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. This is like content, right? This is like all the free stuff. Like for example, Wednesday would be the shout out. And I think you're the first shout out video. So Wednesday would be shout out. But then we would also have like 8 a.m., like 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And then vids would be see, like here we'll just call this talk vids. These are these are a lot of the categories on the website. Vids would be 4:45, or like I guess we could call it 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. I wanted to echo that. The podcast doesn't get traction. Like the podcast is almost, I know from the analytics that it's the subject that drives that, not the drop dates, and that's because it goes over so many networks. The vids, I do have time frame for the vids, so it would be like 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. So it would be like me like revealing the schedule, and then the articles on AKA Pad would be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So like video number one would be like almost like my gift to like everyone. Like this is our like birthday cake right here. Okay. Like Pete's birthday cake to everyone, and we have confetti falling down. Number two would be the biggest sketchbook challenge, which would be the revealing the subject of a 600-page sketchbook, and to kind of review all of my sketchbooks leading into this, but then also do the art material sketchbook. So that would be like 2 videos in one, but 2 big subjects. Because you guys know I wanted, I'm going to get into a deep dive of videos, like deep dive study of all art materials. So I don't know, thoughts on that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think she's weird hot though. Like that's the thing. Like do you think the girl that played Ariel in the Little Mermaid remake, is she attractive? Because people were saying the same things about her that they say about this new girl. Yeah, watching again. Skinny, what do you do for work? I forget. Yeah, yes, I do want to come on with a new. Yeah, I'll add stuff to like since we kind of have an active share folder now, which is I was surprised we didn't when I was sending you some stuff. Oh, and by the way, too, that the glitch colored piece, for some reason, I think I've been working. I have to calibrate my my tablet versus my big laptop. Because the colors are off. That glitch coloring looked really bad. Yeah, I don't know. Like, dude, I'm with you. To make it mandatory, I think you have to pivot though. I really do, and I think there should be like. Here's the wild thing. I think there should be guidelines submitted for over talking, or kind of just like randomly showing things like on camera while other people are talking. I think that's kind of where I see, like, I would like to see some experimentation with that. Because, like, you could have someone trying to make a real point, and, you know, the next person up is showing some random, you know, piece of artwork or comic book or something. But I think, right, I think there's an attitude to Hump Day, right? Like, I think people like the attitude, dude. I think that I think here's a crazy thing. I think Hump Day has a cool factor. What what about a mascot? Did you think about like a cartoon cow? I mean, cartoon camel or something to help push the show? And keep in mind, a lot of this is for your own satisfaction, right? It's not for if you do a cartoon camel. It's not like that's going to equate to more views. It's just like that's not the way the cookie crumbles with that. And the other thing too is, um, I did notice that some of the people that come on, they're not good with like if you're. It's like I guess I want to say, and I am thinking of two individuals. If you're on Hump Day to promote your comic, and let's just say Hump Day Show does a good job with promoting your comic, and maybe you got some real time sales, right? um, you should promote Hump Day in the future when you see like a post. That I don't see a lot of that, and that's a little bit upsetting. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and that's this comment here, dude. That's the general flavor of the show. Panel off, they wouldn't show up. Correct. Yeah, I agree with that. No, she's ugly too. Wow. So, what about the girl from? Wow, I'm forgetting my Star Wars show. Who's the Was it Obi-Wan? Who's the girl from Obi-Wan? The like the Sith girl, like or the Sith hunter, the Inquisitor girl that kind of gets stabbed in the gut twice. What about her? I this is this is where we really learn about who each other is. Yeah, my day job. I got you, buddy. Day job. Yeah, camel. Dude, shouldn't oh, here's the thing. Do you want me? I have an idea. I have a very cool idea, and I think when it comes to trademark and copyright, not that it would be a big deal, because I don't think it would be. I got one hell of an idea for a Hump Day logo, and it's ballsy. It's a ballsy play, but you know me. I love that stuff. I love it. I love it when it's a little bit wrong. It's a little bit risky. Doesn't it feel good just to kind of sit down and draw sometimes, though? Just to kind of like get it out, get the demons out. Here's a wild thing. I would be so much more done this if I wasn't taught. This is why, uh, so recently too. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, I backed away from live streaming, just randomly, too, because of this. Like I always get someone in the chat to kind of hang out with, and I don't do the work. And I'm trying to really find that balance. I might just start doing silent streams, like honestly. Okay, Tyra Banks, I gotcha. I gotcha. John Emple pushed the Hump Day show today. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, back when she was cover girl, right? She was the first African American cover girl. Not that matters. Yeah, yeah, it is annoying. What what you been working on, though? Like I know you're doing a lot of sketchbook stuff though. Are you like you're not doing sketchbook projects? You're always just kind of noodling in your sketchbook, right? You know what? The hell with it. I'm going to get to work on that Hump Day Show logo because uh I think I have enough to do to I might just publish like my own Hump Day art of book. So, maybe we should have like a cool logo for that book. That would have also a full episode guide. How cool is that? Oh, have you been reading anything? Dude, I've been going like all in on the 90s Fantastic Four, and I'm kind of like, dude, I feel like recently I've had like revelations. Kind of like I did a podcast. I just dropped one earlier today on the Lost World, Jurassic Park, and where like I'm watching that movie, and it like all of a sudden it just kind of like clicks and makes sense, and I'm not so bitter towards it anymore because I always used to say the ending of that movie killed it, and which is clear because they talk about it. Like it had a different ending, but they put everything in San Francisco, and next thing you know, the T Rex is fighting a commuter bus, and like even the critics at the time. But I'm watching the movie, and then it's like all of a sudden I look at the timestamp, and I'm like, there's like 30 minutes left. And I just say to myself, I'm like, wow, like we got this far with the movie, and I'm like still engaged. So like I get to the end of the movie, and I'm still into the movie. And then it's like, wow, like maybe, like maybe I just haven't been watching it. It's a weird thing that happens too. But like, and then I did the Superman Returns. The Superman Returns is gaining traction. But like I'm kind of like that movie's ahead of its time. But people would make fun of it or all. And I guess some of it's like the Kevin Smith crowd would just bash and make fun of that movie because of like quote unquote like observations. And it's like, no, dude, like that's a part three, number one. Like that's the third, like that's the third movie in the Donner story arc. We give a lot of props to Richard Donner here because he did create the goat superhero movie, like by no account. I mean, I think we're getting there though with this girl. I think we're getting to an idea of what this illustration is. There we go. That's our girl. That's our girl. There's just something to where when you make a character like in the middle of a fight and you know just from the illustration that the fight is going to go in one or two directions in the next move. That's what I try and do. Yeah. No, I haven't yet, dude. Oh, skinny. Yeah, why hasn't reading been happening? Oh, you're not reading because you're not developing maybe like enough of a schedule. It's no different than if you're not working out, if you're not dynamic stretching regularly, like you're not developing a schedule. Okay, out of the loop. What's up? Hump Day is every single every single Wednesday on Omar Glitch's channel. Skinny, I can send you the I can DM you that info, buddy. Yeah, just try and draw a shitload. Yes, yes, we're going backwards, sure. The Hump Day show is a little bit risky. What's it? Yeah, for ScarJo. For ScarJo. Have you seen Lucy? I think you've seen Lucy. I think we talked about Lucy. I'm a huge fan of that. And what's it? Match Point? Like she's so good at Match Point. Like ScarJo, in my opinion, is like she's one. But I don't know. Again, like Jurassic Park, Rebirth, right? Like it's another test. If a female lead can open an action movie, and we kind of want to say, and I know a lot of people they will excuse it for COVID, but she had the another opportunity with the Black Widow movie. So now, like, we really have to be critical on, because we have evidence now, and I guess after this weekend, we'll have more evidence. But we kind of have to say, maybe ScarJo cannot quite open an action movie by herself. Because I think the other guy, what Marshall Ali, I always butcher his name. Right, like I don't like. Can he open an action movie too? Like there's a lot when it comes to the gravity of an actor and an actress. Like there's a lot happening with Jurassic Park Rebirth or Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm sorry, guys. Like I think some of their cachet can go down, both of them. See now, for example, you want to say if the movie opens and pops that Marvel Disney is going to go back to their Oscar winner when it comes to Blade and want to do something. If Jurassic World Rebirth pops, you want to say that Marvel Disney is going to go to ScarJo and push for a Black Widow appearance in Doomsday or Secret Wars or something. Because again, like you build that cachet. I think ScarJo needs a solid hit though with this. Yeah, people. Okay, so people hated Superman Returns when it came out because they viewed it as another real estate scheme by Lex Luthor. So, which was like the previous movies. So, Superman 1, Richard Donner, the original of the original, Lex Luthor is trying to set off a nuclear weapon to redo the, he sets it off on the fault line, right? And then from there, when everything crashes, the inland, right? Like he would own everything inland. So when the new beachfront property emerges, he'll own all of it. So that's kind of right. Like that's probably the best comic book scheme by any comic book movie villain ever. Is that right there? So, so yeah, Superman Returns, like everything with Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor, they're just like holy crap, like it's more real estate stuff. And then it really came down to the kid. It came down to Lois moving on with the James Marsden character. Because people viewed her scene with him flying, and if you connect that to the Donner movie when she flies with Brandon Routh, it it's almost like sex, like they're banging. Like that's really, if you watch that scene, that original one with with Christopher Reeve, and Margot Kidder, right? Like that scene is them. It's an sex scene. So it's kind of like, well, now she's like cheating on this guy with Superman, and she's supposed to kind of be like bitter towards him. And then, like I said, the kid, and the other observation, and I guess like this is like the Kevin Smith side coming, is the no punching. He doesn't really punch anyone. He punches a continent, is what they would say, and that's your snarky comic book fandom right there. So through snarkiness, you tear down the movie. I always watched it though. Like that was like a movie I always had running because I just think the elements are so there. I think the best on screen Jimmy Olsen, uh, the best the best Daily Planet newsroom, because like the newsroom in every single Superman movie like has to have like an introduction, like kind of like the beats of the newsroom. I do feel like Lawrence Fishburne from Man of Steel. Uh, you know, the heroic Perry White. Like each one's like different too. I can't believe this is becoming like a full piece now. Like no joke, everyone. I just wanted this thing to be like a quick sketch, and I guess like yesterday didn't go well enough. Uh, I get like a little bit upset sometimes. Like I feel like I wasted people's time. I feel like I wasted my own time, and it's like I just got to make up for it. But either way, the comic books, right? Like the big point with that though is like that the comic books caught up to a lot of that movie. You know, the comic books have spent a lot of time like fully deconstructing the Man of Steel, giving him a child, breaking up him and Lois, getting him and Lois back together. A lot of these things that have happened since that movie, and you kind of want to say that the DC Comics itself saved Superman Returns. And that doesn't mean you have to agree with everything that happens in that movie. Because I still don't think the kid is just like quite there. Um, you know, because a lot's unsaid with that child. We're like within the context of the movie. But then it's like you look at it from two ways. You look at it from like, you know, like what's happening in continuity, what's happening in canon. Does this take me out of the movie? Or is it well made enough to where like that shouldn't and doesn't matter? And that's, I guess, like that's always where I was with Superman Returns. But I could speak on it. I could speak on what was the disconnect as well. Nice. You got a new sub. I'm sure you've seen it. Skinny Ohm is a he is I think once Ohm even like gets some of his footing with his reading and comic book study, you know, like he's going to be a good voice in comic book reading as well. That's what the push has got to be. Read comics. Yeah, most of my reading has been modern books. Well, that's good. Dude, I've been kind of like going back and forth with some of that. Is like, you know, should I get back into like some of the modern books? But honestly, it takes so much time uh like researching and waiting for deliveries and talking to people about what I do for the channel. You know, like it's just like, oh my god, like it would be really difficult for me to add anything more to the AKA pad like reading workload. See, I'm avoiding a section here because I got so much ink down. Yeah, I never just do like a straight spike. If you guys want to see some of that detail, Like I always make it like I don't know what type of like molding process or like steel making process, but it's like where it's like purposely jagged and sharp. Love Lucy. Yeah, Lucy's awesome. Like they can, but where? Like where has we have what Angelina Jolie and Salt? um, I mean, we can say what Jennifer Lawrence with Hunger Games, but again, that was Hunger Games. You can kind of say anybody could have been cast in Hunger Games. If you need further proof of the Jennifer Lawrence Hunger Games thing, look at Sparrow that came out between two Hunger Game movies and completely kind of like went away, bombed. No one even talked about it. And I believe that's a Francis Lawrence movie too. Like you can say, well, Sigourney Weaver can carry aliens, but does she? Like, does she though? Like, did Sigourney Weaver carry Aliens Resurrection, Alien 3? And you might say, well, those are bad movies. Well, okay. If they're bad movies with a female action lead that don't do well, you have to say that the movies that Alien and Aliens are good movies. So could anyone have been in that role? I mean, like you have to add like real perspective to it. Um, like Marvel Cinematic Universe, we can argue again that Eternals was a like Angelina Jolie pushed movie. Like Angelina Jolie and Selma Hayek pushed that movie. That didn't do well. Like where is the run? Like and it's not just like a one off. You can't use exceptions. Like where's the run of female action movies? When I'll tell you who though, in my opinion, Cynthia Rothrock. If you guys remember her, that's a chick that can she can open up an action movie. But yeah, it again, like it doesn't mean that there's not exceptions and variations to that rule, but I think overall, yeah, I don't know. Like I because even like with like Furiosa, like that came and went. Like no one cared. A lot of people said that movie was good. I thought it was. I thought that was. I don't know. I thought Furiosa was just one. Maybe some time needs to pass, but I thought that movie explained a little bit too much. There was a lot of it that I didn't find interesting. I think Hemsworth is the clear winner in that movie. Um, I don't know, like, but Furiosa too doesn't didn't get it, but it doesn't mean that they can't though. I just think the times like I think there's bad or there's lack of analysis to when it does work, and there's lack of perspective to when it does work, like what it means and how to like what to get from it. Because the Princess Leia Sigourney Weaver Ripley argument is just it's a little bit silly and it's not um yeah, I think it's a little bit lazy too. Because it's hard to say like what you need is like a movie that was expected to do nothing with a female action lead to completely take over. And yeah, like we just saw with the ballerina. That's already digital, by the way. Uh Again, like the ballerina, another good example of that. And I'm just going, I'm not really looking anything up. I don't have anything in front of my face. I'm going just off of the cusp of my brain. Yeah, see, some of this wet ink is keeping me from the other side of the piece here. Always super annoying when that happens. Oh, here we go. Oh, oh my god, here we go. Wait, I came up. Oh, here, let's just go to this one. I came up with a comic book idea Tuesday night. It's going to be I just have no clue how to actually write anything, but I'm writing. Skinny, write it, write it, but lay it out. Lay out the pages as you're writing it. Like just try and get some paneling, try and get some panel flow. I think the more you understand comic book layouts, the better of a writer you will be, because it puts you into the mind of the illustrator, but also with that, it puts you in the mind of what works. Yeah, there's a reason why. Yeah, a lot of the screenwriters study directing, they study filmmaking, they study cinematography, they study everything, and they keep up with the new technology as well, because you have to write for it. You have to write for what's capable. Um, if you want to, create things with none of that, write a book, right? But that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, look, here's a position when it comes to art. Um, yes, there is such a thing as crappy artwork, right? But when it comes to comics, you can excuse the level of the artwork if the level of the artwork perfectly complements what's happening with the story. It needs to be a perfect handshake. Period. Like I think that's a disconnect that a lot of people miss. They want to act like, well, any style and any story can work. If you're the complete architect of a comic book piece, look, number one, look at it as a product. All products have limitations. iPhones have limitations. Everything has limitations, right? So mold the other elements into those limitations, and get good with doing a version 1, version 2, version 3. Like, put it through real product development. Yeah, right. Write down the lyrics, but work on the layouts as you're coming up with the story. The biggest issue with ScarJo right now is she's getting old. I know, I know, I know, I know. But but here's the thing. Oh, with some of these movies, you will be able to actively DH an actor in real time as you're shooting the movie. I would say they're almost there right now with that. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Ohm's just bringing the heat. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think you're going to produce anything too good if you chase trends. Like, that's it. You have to develop the mindset, Skinny, that good is good, no matter what. If you develop the eye of detecting good is good, you can take that, and that there's like a standard, and you have to have standards like in your mind's eye. Going back to what I said about Omer earlier, you have to have a playbook. You have to kind of have a structure to how you're viewing things. Yeah, that's fine, dude. You know, yeah, you have to go back and forth though. You can't. I don't think just reading indie comics will grow your like what your senses are. We'll call it that. But you have to develop good as good, and you do have to, I think, study a range of books. Skinny, there's nothing wrong with picking 2 or 3 books, like 2 or 3 works. They don't have to. It could be any like it could be a floppy, it could be a graphic novel, it could be whatever. And if you hyper focus on that work and be able to dissect why things work in it and why other things don't, because here's the thing, comic books are not perfect. uh there's nothing near a perfect comic. There's flaws in everything. There's even flaws in Mouse and Watchmen and Akira. There's I mean, the Akira flaws too are like evident in its length, for example. But I would say, like, hyper focus on what you think is good and great, and get really good with dissecting that. Yeah, that's fine. That's superheroes. That's fine. Yeah, the moon following us was fantastic. Yeah. Do you have X-Men? So you got 8 for 22. I would think like 8 was never one of the I have it right here. Yeah, it was always 9, 10, 11. But yeah, 8 for 22 still solid though. Do you have 11? Do you have Essential 11? Yeah, I mean, good movie, great director. Yeah, but yeah, very Black Widow ish at the time. I agree. But look at the timestamps though, years apart, years apart. Yeah, Cynthia Rothrock. Come on. Yeah, I thought like there's things I like about movies as of like the way that they're packaged and presented, but there was a there was like this combination of like mission, story, revealing the character with Fury Road that made Furiosa absolutely interesting. I hate in Furiosa that they gave away how she came up with the arm. They gave away like some of her like makeup, we'll call it, her war paint. It butts all the way into Fury Road. Um like stuff like that, to where like the girls are escaping at the end. I That's kind of, to me, in the intent of Furiosa should have been to show us more of Furiosa, not to act as a prequel to Fury Road. And for me, that was a disconnect. It doesn't mean that the movie's not masterful though, because it can be. Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah, Tomb Raider, Underworld. I get you, but again, Tomb Raider. You kind of want to say we're back to Angelina Jolie and Underworld to some degree, right? Like, but Underworld is no different than Resident Evil being successful. They're mid-budget, mid-tier movies that have a they have a distribution method to get the money back. So they're system driven movies. But again, what to further this argument, you need a unexpected hit to happen with a female lead movie. Meaning the ballerina comes out and the ballerina makes $500 million. Ballerina outgrosses any John Wick movie. Though that's the scenario that not just me, I think producers, I think the people who make these movies need to see that. Like, there's still not enough that like real data when it comes to female action movies. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like maybe, maybe not. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think woke is a word that has migrated to the point of irrelevance at this point. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I think audiences would respond. I mean, like here's my pushback against that. Is if you can watch a movie that you don't think is woke, right? Like you have to be able to watch a movie that you don't think is woke and be able to find the um the messaging within the movie. Meaning like find the woke in what's not woke. Right? And then like the movies that are supposed to be woke. Like I said, dude, what's it? Turning Red, The Hunt, Civil War. If you don't think Civil War is an Oscar level movie, then it's like it's hard to have like a film discussion. And Civil War was labeled woke and all of these other BS things for no reason. And you kind of want to say it broke the director's mind because he made a like a near perfect movie with Civil War, perfect ending, thrilling, heartbreaking. That movie was a journey, and that's why you have to push back against stuff like that. You have to be able to watch movies for what they are, and you have to be willing to watch everything. Period. End statement. Yeah, I got dude. Where dude? I have Foundation next to me, and I think it's buried underneath papers. But yeah, dude, my whole filing system, my whole archives is everything is it's all labeled derived from Foundation. Yeah, dude, what piece of it is in the house. What's up, dude? I miss you, buddy. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we got some friends in the chat. Good. Always buy superhero books. Wait, volume 8 goes for nah. What? Oh. Are you on Goofballs? I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah. Essential X-Men, volume 8. $18, $25. You paid market for that. Now, volume 11 is the one that recently dried up everywhere. Yeah, see, volume 11 is on eBay right now for 100. It's like fuck, and that used to be the cheaper of the three. I think the way the market. Here's the thing. I think there's so few people that actually do read this stuff that if you just want to look at our time discussing the essential books, everything was 10 drops in price, 9 goes up in value, 9 starts to drop, 11 goes up in value. When we can witness that market variation, it means that there's a controllable group of people reading comics or buying that product. Controllable. Yeah. Believe it or not, the comic book market is not as big as people want to say it is. Best viewers here. We got another bot. What's up, bot? Oh yeah, no, 11 is. You gotta do better research and development. Yeah, Civil War was good. Civil War. But Civil War was, if you look at the commentary for Civil War, no one who believes in wokeness would see that movie. And I'm not saying wokeness isn't a thing, and I'm not saying that term hasn't migrated on both ends of the spectrum, but the goal should always be a positive, be a good audience member, give everything a shot. No cap, dude. I've been watching and rewatching Ironheart. I rewatched Wakanda Forever. Like I'm trying to engage in what people may like about that, right? Like Excuse me. I will say this though. The evolution of the live action Iron Heart armor from like from the Wakanda Forever Mark 1 to what they have in the show, it's there. It's a great transition. A ton of action figures, right? A ton of action figures. Yeah, no shit. No, volume 11's been up. Uh-oh. Volume 11 has been 100 plus for a little bit of time now. Get better with the R&D, boy. All right, guys. You got me talking. I think 90 minutes is good enough. We're going to call it. I love you guys so much. I love you. Skinny, Jimmy, I love you. My gator boy, I'm looking for it. Sorry. Right here, we have a gator. And you guys know what that means. It means it's where's he at? Right here. Inkzzzzz in the house. Mission Ith. Guys, let's just keep rocking and rolling. Let's keep working. Let's keep our standards high. Let's develop processes for ourselves. Let's never be afraid to do the work. Do the effing work. And people will tell you, they'll tell you no, but do the work to show them. Love you guys. I really do. You guys mean a lot to me. We're going to roll out with a little bit of AKA Pad Rip.
Are you ready for the eclectic